United States.
The Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Crowds cheer as Donald Trump is sworn in as the 47th President of the United States.
Our co-anchor, Elex Michaelson. He's live in the nation's capital with all the excitement. What a day it has been, Elex.
What a day, what a night, and it continues right now, Marla and Christine. That video we just showed you is something that we shot from the Capital One Arena, which is where they moved the parade to inside, and that crowd was so loud all day long. Let's take a live look at where some of the crowd is right now at various inaugural balls that are happening all over Washington. President Trump has not arrived at any of them yet. He literally just wrapped up a signing ceremony in the Oval Office a few moments ago that was supposed to go for a few minutes, but he started interacting with the press and went for over a half hour of questions and answers with the press. And let's show you now some of the supporters, though, that are around Washington. Remember, some 300,000 of them came to Washington to see this inauguration in person outside. Only about 20,000 of them were allowed inside this Capital One arena. Those there were very grateful to be there, but those who weren't found other places to go, many of them gathering in nearby bars and restaurants for their own watch parties. Take a listen.
There is so much excitement here. It feels like Christmas Day. It feels like I'm 8 years old and Santa Claus just came.
America is back. We've had 4 years of a dismal failure. Everyone knows it. And now we're actually going to return to some sanity and make America great again. Amen.
So Republicans couldn't feel better tonight. Obviously, they think Santa's back. But the Democrats feeling pretty sad tonight would be one word to describe it. Joe Biden, no longer president, but on the way out, he pardoned a whole bunch of folks. Let's put some of that up on the screen right now. He did preemptive pardons, saying that these people did not commit crimes, but he's worried that the Trump administration would prosecute them anyway. So among those pardoned, the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs, Mark Milley, Dr. Anthony Fauci, of course, led much of the COVID response for the government, Liz Cheney, and all the other members of the January 6th committee that investigated Trump, including Senator Adam Schiff, plus his family members, his brothers and sisters. We know he pardoned his son, worried that they would be prosecuted. So all of them were pardoned on the way out the door. As for Senator Schiff, as we come back out here live, he had told me that he didn't want a pardon, that he had told Biden that he didn't think it was a good idea, that he thought that it was legally dubious, this idea of a preemptive pardon. He said not to do it. Biden did it anyways. Tonight, Schiff said that he still didn't really want it and still doesn't necessarily think it's legal, but he understands why the president did that. We'll be sitting down with Schiff tomorrow morning on Good Day LA. You'll hear from him directly. But coming up a little bit later, what Trump had to say about California and his trip later this week. For now, Marla, Christine, back to you.
You make a very good point that for a lot of Democrats, today is not happy inauguration day. President Biden, though, did leave a letter for President Trump, and we saw that happening at that moment there at the desk there where he was having that news conference. And Trump had done a letter for Biden when he left as well, even though he didn't greet him there. That's a long-standing tradition. I'm not sure. I don't know if you've seen it. I haven't seen it. If Biden or Trump said what Biden said to him, sometimes those letters go public, sometimes they do not. But that is a nice tradition. Joe Biden seemed to be playing nice and said to Trump, "Welcome home," when he came in there. But it must have been very uncomfortable for Biden and Harris to sit there during that particular inaugural address where Trump did not really say anything nice about them and called basically their entire administration a dismal failure.
And something that you talked to Brett Baer about in your reporting over the weekend was there more to moving the inauguration indoors? Is this for security reasons? And when we were just showing him signing the executive orders in the Oval Office, Fox's Peter Doocy asked him that question. We didn't get the answer because when we came back to you, but he seemed to acknowledge and say, no, it was just because it was going to be bitter cold.
Yeah, that's the reporting that we've been hearing too. There was real concerns for people's health. There was concerns apparently for the health of the horses that would have to be out with police officers, that they may not be able to survive all of this. And I can tell you, it is really cold. And it would have been tough to be outside. And Trump talked about the fact that he kind of liked the visuals of all of it. And from a TV production perspective, which we know Trump thinks of clearly, I think it worked okay in terms of everything. And it was kind of nice the way that it all looked.
Well, you think with the cold how early people have to stage and get in place and law enforcement to secure the area. So perhaps it makes a lot of sense with that cold. All right, Alex, thank you so much.